Words are different in terms of the degree of emphasis that you give to them. There are some words which are very common. For example, good or nice. These are so common, we use them all the time. So maybe they don't have that much value. In fact, we may call them neutral words. However, we also have the same kind of word which can be said more forcefully. So, an emphatic word would be a word which is more forceful. Now, if we take the example of good or nice or interesting, how can we make it a more forceful word, more emphatic? We can use other words. We can use words like excellent, marvelous, incredible, fascinating, extraordinary. Now, all these words are much more forceful than good or nice. So, sometimes you should use these words also and not keep on repeating the same neutral words again and again. This will make your speech or your writing more effective. It will be more forceful and you will give a degree of emphasis to the point that you are making. Another thing that you must remember is that all these words are adjectives. Now, adjectives will go along with certain kinds of nouns. So let's have a look at the first noun here, which is book. Now, we can say a good book, an interesting book. We can say an excellent book, a marvelous book, an incredible book, a fascinating book, or extraordinary book. So it seems we can use all these adjectives with this particular noun, which is book. But let us take this noun, dress. Now we can say this is a good dress, this is a nice dress. Can we say it is an incredible dress or a fascinating dress? It doesn't sound right. So that means that only some of these adjectives can be used with the word dress. All of them cannot be used with the word dress, whereas all of them could be used with the word book. So you have to be very alert to the combinations of the words. Then let's take the example of this noun, activity. We can say it is a marvelous activity. We can say it's an extraordinary activity or a fascinating activity or an interesting activity. But we may not be able to say it's a marvelous activity. So we have to be quite careful when we bring these words together and then choose the degree of emphasis that we want to give to it. So if we agree with something very strongly, then we would say, we would use a greater degree of emphasis. So we would say something like absolutely, definitely, surely, certainly, because we are pretty sure about our feelings or our opinions. But if we are not sure about that, then we will not use an emphatic word. We will use a neutral word. We would say somewhat, to some extent, perhaps, possibly. These are the words we would use if we are not so convinced about something and we don't want to put an emphasis on those words. So this is how we can choose the right word for what we are speaking or writing.